He's high energy, always motivated, and never short of words. Today I'm with Anthony Walls. It's going to be an exciting interview. It's going to be quick. Real quick as we get started, Anthony, I want you to call some shout outs to some folks who you'd like to say hi to.
First off, I'd love to say hey to my wonderful fiance, Sarah Hamilton. I'd love to give a shout out to my Quillen office, What Up Admissions, and all the wonderful people at Northeast State and ETSU that have helped me along the way. All you educators out there, this one's for you.
You know, people always say that for the end, and then I worry that somebody didn't watch the video long enough to hear their shout out. So I hope for those of you that I can tag you somewhere in the bottom of this video to know how much you're appreciated. Anthony, I want to get to it right off the ground running. I've known you for a couple of years now. I'll never forget the first time I met you when we were filming a commercial for Northeast State. You were studying IT with Jay Davis. You wanted to be in computer science in some realm, but you learned a lot about yourself along the way. You've changed tracks. You are now in an exciting new position at ETSU. Take us in a 30-second version. Take us through that transition and where you are now.
Well, I graduated with my IT degrees from Northeast State, transferred to Human Services at ETSU, got my master's this May virtually after 2 long, hard years of grad school in educational leadership and policy analysis, and it led me to the most spectacular job I've ever had with Quillen College of Medicine admissions. And I have a servant's heart, and it gives me I'm just at the right level to work with everyone up above me, but also work with everyone who's thinking college may not be for them or is for them, and I'm just a stepping stone along the way with them.
You're going to be a great stepping stone, and you hit that 30-second mark right on the head. Congratulations. It's not always easy to do. Hey, I like to know a little bit about folks beyond their work aspirations or their educational milestones. And so let's just take a few questions, if we could, to learn a little bit about you on a personal level. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
So for all those folks at the Quillen College of Medicine, at this point in time, we need to put a disclaimer on the screen that you are not held accountable for these answers, that they in no way affect your employment, and when you apply for your doctorate, that this will not be held against you. So, number one, if you had one big secret that nobody else knows that we could reveal on social media, what would it be?
That if you ever happen to be a fly on the wall inside of my car, you will hear me singing at the absolute top of my lungs. It's usually Whitney Houston or Taylor Swift, something that I would normally dance to, but I wouldn't belt it out. And I have for years now known I would never skip I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston because I sing it every single time.
I am so glad I asked that question. If any of you out there have a clip of this or happen to find yourself at a red light next to what color car do you drive?
It's charcoal blue.
All right, keep your eyes out open, folks. We're looking for this in Johnson City, somewhere beneath the Death Star. Number two, we all have heroes in our lives, and I can't help but think that someone has been a motivator for you along the way. You may have mentioned them at the very beginning of this video, but if you hadn't, I'd love for you to take us quickly through that inspiration, and what about that individual has inspired you to go so far with your education?
If I could, I would like to definitely give 75% of it or 175% of it to my main hero. But then I also would like to sprinkle about 25% into someone who helped me along the way. My hero will and always will be my mom. It takes one hell of a woman to be a single mother or a single parent in any aspect. But a single parent working 2 to 3 jobs and raising 3 kids on a paycheck to paycheck basis, just enough to get them by, and then still make them happy and make them believe that the world is theirs. And my mom is always going to be my hero, because when I was at my lowest and I didn't think that there was anything below the ground, there's a difference between the ground and the floor, and I know that now because of her. And we hear the phrase standing on the shoulders of giants. I don't even know if I could reach her shoulders, that she's that gigantic. But she was always encouraging me when I thought I was not going to be able to complete college or go to college. She proved me wrong, and she went to college first. and every step of the way, she is the GOAT. She is the one that's always pushing me to be better, and even when she doesn't realize it, she's the one that's always driving me to make better decisions and be a better person each day. And the other person I would like to help guide, that helped guide me, was Dr. Duncan at ETSU. Had her my first semester, and actually, no, I had her every semester for my first 2 years at ETSU in undergrad. She opened my eyes to a world of servant leadership that I didn't know existed prior. And she's just an all-around one of the best human beings you could ever have the presence to know. And she, without a doubt, proves the point that redheads and single moms are the powerhouses of motivation. And if you have the privilege to know a redhead who's a single mom, then you're in good company. But they just both always taught me to think for more than myself and to help others that may not have the same opportunities as I have.
Dr. Duncan, I hope you have the privilege to see this. And if I can ask, what's Mom's name?
Mom's name is GW.
GW. All right. Well, my last question for you, and I appreciate your time. I know that folks will be honored to hear from your personal testimony, is general words of advice for folks. No matter the topic, it could be about personal aspirations, it could be getting through day to day, it could be dealing with personal or professional struggles. If you've got one bit of advice for folks, what is it?
You know, it's always hard to narrow it down to one, but probably the best advice I could ever give someone would be, again, that's a challenge. I'd have to say that it's okay to not be okay, but you need to learn to like yourself more than like yourself. You need to learn to love yourself in all aspects. Just for a quick bit of backstory, I struggled with depression and suicide attempts. I'm a suicide attempt survivor. I don't cower away from that topic. One of the things that motivated me was when I was at my lowest, I couldn't focus on anything other than how I felt, and that was important, that's valid. But one of the biggest things that helped me was learning that if I have even one breath left in my lungs, if I can help someone else along the way, that makes me feel like I've already won at life. Being able to help someone in any aspect, whether it's getting into college, giving them 50 cents for a phone call, which payphones don't exist, but anything that you can do to be a better person and help someone else is about the best thing you can do. But you got to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you're gonna exhaust yourself, whether it's working jobs and going to college, or just feeling a little emotionally overwhelmed, like all of us did in 2020. But just never back down from loving yourself, because you'd never know if I could go back to when I was a teenager and tell myself that, hey, like, you're gonna conquer the world one day, and be walking through like all the lives of like people that you've met and helped, you'll realize that your life is more significant than this one moment.
Thanks for reaching out today, Anthony. Thanks for sharing that. It's very inspirational. I want to close by saying that this message today is brought to you by GW. GW, thank you for raising an exceptional human being, someone who I'll consider a friend and quite possibly a mentor. Everybody, have a great year. And Anthony, I hope to see you soon.
We hope so.